Hey guys, what's up? The I'm Coming Everywhere World Tour continues in 2023, going to places like Mexico, South America, and all over Europe. The tickets are on pre-sale right now using the promo code TOMMY, T-O-M-M-Y. You can go to tomsegura.com/tour and get your tickets.
One of the first interviews I did, I'm asked, the first question was, when you were at SNL, did you ever do cocaine? Mm-hmm. And I went, yes, but I only did a little, and only so I could stay awake late enough to make sure that Belushi didn't do too much.
Yeah. Welcome to your mom's house.
This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Saatva, SAATVA.com/the-shit. That's right. That is the complete URL, because with that URL, you get $200 off any mattress of your choice. We've slept on them all, and I appreciate good sleep now more than ever. There's nothing like sleeping on a Saatva mattress. It feels like home, and it feels like I'm going to get a great night's sleep whenever I sleep on it. I sleep on these other mattresses all the time because I'm on the road constantly, and it depresses me. It depresses me to sleep on another mattress. I want nothing more than Saatva to show up at these hotels with their mattress takeaway service and set it on fire in the front of the hotel, in the lobby possibly, and then put one of the Saatvas in the hotel. Anyway, you don't have to go that far, but I would go to Saatva, SAATVA.com/the-shit, and get $200 off any mattress of your choice. And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Your Mom's Place.
You don't have your hair anymore. What happened to your plugs?
You know,
You spent so much money and time.
I'll be honest with you. It was the bullying.
What?
I
Who
got bullied.
you?
Everybody. I
Who
got
dared bully
so
you?
hard. Fucking
Who?
broke me.
But who?
People in person, people online. They're like, who do you think you are? And like, you know, it was terrible.
You know what, Tommy? Those people are haters, and they're just jealous of your beautiful, full head of hair that you
Well,
had.
it's another 38 grand down the drain. So I don't know if I'm
38 grand, my goodness.
fucking doing that again.
Fucking haters. F
Yeah.
all the haters, dude. It's machines within all day.
I know. Machines within.
Machine
Working
within.
on my flow.
I'm working
Yeah.
on my rhymes.
I just, I don't know. I'm just done with it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
okay.
going to accept it.
You know what, though? It's good to change up your look every now and then and, like, try a new thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I'm really into lately?
What's that?
Terminator movies.
You have been. You even pointed out that you told me Schwarzenegger was in really good shape.
He's,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know
Yeah.
this, but that guy Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah, he had quite a body.
he worked out.
Quite a bit.
But what I've learned in all the Terminator movies is that, one, the future robots have built a time machine, but they can't figure out how to keep clothing on the robots that they send back.
It's interesting.
And they made a robot that speaks English with an Austrian accent,
That-
which is really crazy.
That is also fascinating because it's a robot
Yeah.
that they were like, all right, we want him to speak English, but could he sound like he was Austrian born and learned English later in life?
Like German's his first language. It's a very specific, so they can do all that, but they can't.
Why wouldn't they go like beep, bop, boop, and then make it speak just English with no accent?
I don't know.
It's very sophisticated.
It's very thought-provoking.
Yeah, it is.
And also,
I never heard that point brought up. This
know
is
what?
a robot.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because this is what I think about. This is my gift, Tom, is
So
to
they were
think about
just like,
stupid shit.
and then make it talk. I will kill you. And they're like, no, make it say, I will kill you.
Better.
Better.
Well, you know what got me to thinking about that is the iconic
Look
line.
at that fucking chest on
The
that guy.
iconic line of when he goes, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I said self.
Yeah.
If he had just said that like an American, like, hey, I'll be back, it wouldn't have been the phenomenon that it became. It was the accent that
Totally
everybody
true.
loved.
Because here, check this out.
Go ahead.
I'll be back.
But even say it with like
Yeah.
Terminator.
Like,
Go ahead.
If
Go
it
ahead.
had been like the
Go ahead.
I'll be back. It wouldn't have.
Don't care.
They'd just be like, oh, the guy will be back. That's fine.
See you later.
But the fact that he was, I'll be back.
It was iconic.
It was iconic.
I'll be back. It was so silly. And also, too, so back to his bod. So in the first movie, he time travels from the future to kill Sarah Connor, right?
Yeah.
And he drops naked. And he's a bodybuilder, but his body is a work of art.
It is. Schwartz's body is a work of art.
Yeah, because there's guys that are bodybuilders and you see like, yeah, that guy's got a huge chest, but his physique was just stunning and beautiful. I think arguably like the greatest naked body of all time was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I would agree. And I mean, it was the development and the symmetry, and it was all like, the
perfect. Face was gorgeous.
Yeah.
He would look, I mean, the guy's from another country.
So let me ask you this. Women sometimes they go, do you think it really is personal preference? A lot of women will be like, I don't like that. Like they don't like overly muscular.
I don't like that in RIL, as the kids say, because it was too intimidating. Like I see it as an aesthetic, like I admire beauty.
It looks like a statue, like a sculpture.
It's like David, but even David wasn't that fucking jacked.
No.
David's a fucking pussy homo compared to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think Schwarzenegger has a bigger dong too. David's got a tiny one.
How do you know what Schwarzenegger's dong looks
because
like?
It shows it when he gets dropped to earth, you know. When
shows the dong?
It's like they show like an outline of it. Yeah, he's naked in both Terminator films.
I remember that he's naked, but I don't remember seeing dong. You see dong?
You have to look, Tom. It depends on what you're looking for.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I know, but there's actual penis in the Terminator?
No, you see shadow of it. You don't see, but I'm saying the shadow had a good hang to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like David where it's like a little kid's. So I'm up to Terminator 3, so don't quiz me on that. But so it turns out, and I was doing a deep dive on it, Linda Hamilton, the star.
Why is the Terminator aging?
That's another question. The robots were like, we want you to look more human.
You gotta age. You should get grays.
And you know what I noticed in every movie?
What?
They have to find a hot lava factory to dump the robot in to kill.
There's always got to be a lava factory.
And it's amazing that they find one every single time.
That is true.
Have you ever seen a lava factory?
No.
They found 3 so far.
Yeah, you know the word, I mean, even he says it, but like back when he was a competitive bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And he was in Venice Beach, Muscle those days. He was just a fuck factory.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. He's a statue.
He was just like
beyond,
running through them. Yeah.
Beyond. I mean, yeah. He wins Mr. Universe. He comes from Austria. He's a little kid essentially on Venice Beach, and then doesn't he become an actor after he wins Mr. Olympia or something?
7. He won 7 times.
Look at that. I mean,
yeah. It's not
human.
Normal build.
It's not even human.
No, look at that one to the right of that. Just that guy walking towards you.
Oh, yeah, and then he played Conan the Barbarian,
Christ.
too, remember, in the 80s?
It's just so developed.
So then Schwarzenegger, he becomes a bodybuilder, and then he becomes an actor, and not just an actor, like the most famous actor, and then he becomes the governor of California.
I can't even, speak, perfect English.
That's amazing.
It's wild.
It's amazing what this guy did. And then he married a Kennedy. I mean, before that, he married a Kennedy. And then he banged the housekeeper and made a baby with her. It was just like win.
But that makes sense,
It does it, yeah.
Kind of.
Tell me.
Well, I mean, look at his accomplishments.
I know.
At that point, you kind of deserve it,
He's like, but I never banged the housekeeper, had a baby with her.
He was just
that sounded
overwhelmed
like Anna
that
Delvey.
day. He just got in there and was like, I just had to.
I have to
stress.
come.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what it was? That one day he's like, where's Maria?
There she is.
And Maria's nowhere. And then he's like, I'll have to fuck the housekeeper.
Yeah. He was just
hard out.
He had to get it out.
There's the Terminator's baby right there.
Yeah, look at him. Look at that kid.
Dang.
Those are Schwartzy genes right there. Those genes are powerful.
Powerful.
Yeah.
You think? Yeah. No, the Terminator can't come, though. He's a robot. But he's got a skin on him and blood.
Oh, look at that picture on the far left there. That's the kid with long hair.
Oh, snap.
Look at him. Look at that face. That kid is...
Yeah, he's got the genes.
He's got the genes, yeah.
Them Terminator genes.
She couldn't turn it down either. You realize
Who
that.
Who could? You're the housekeeper and Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to... You're like,
Do you want to fuck?
Yeah.
She's like, yes.
Do you want to fuck?
Yeah.
These big nipples.
to come as you suck me dry.
These big nips.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's what.
Oh, there's his son.
That's the son.
Yeah. And he doesn't do, I bet that kid doesn't do shit. Like, and he has that bod. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think that kid has to do
No,
much.
that's his genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I'm just existing
But
and I'm all jacked.
also, Schwartzy didn't get his bod just by genetics. You know,
No.
he was a fucking psycho workout guy.
Well, I heard that his father was very strict back
They
in Austria.
tended to be back then, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah.
And his father would shame him about not being fit enough. It was very important to be fit.
He talked one time about he had a body that was pretty crazy already, and then he was like, I knew. I said, Arnold, you are fat, because he wasn't like vascular. You know, he was still like more jacked than 99% of people, but he had that wheel. You know,
He's got the achiever's mind, high achiever. The guy just goes for it. He went for it. He did it. He what an incredible life.
Another guy who's also led an incredible life.
Let's
Here we
see
go.
You want a man that'll treat you right, treat you good, worship the ground you walk on, put you first,
Yeah.
and then everything else later?
Yes.
You know, I'm your dude, man. I'm real. I'm all about it. Trust that.
Trust it.
Trust that. Trust.
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Welcome to your mom's house.
Meow, meow, meow,
With
meow,
Tom
meow,
Segura.
meow.
Christina Pajitsin. Christina Pajitsin.
Welcome to your mom's house.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why people are messing with Tinder and the apps when there's so many available good men on TikTok.
That's
And you can see what they look like, you know, what they really look like.
he has an interesting plea though. His plea is like, I'm a solid dude.
Yeah, he likes America. You
He
can
likes
see
America. It is a solid dude angle is very prison oriented. You know, like that's where you learn to speak like that. Are you a solid motherfucker?
That's
Like,
true. Solid,
Can we
yeah.
count on you when the blacks come in?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to fucking do your part?
When this race war starts.
And
Yeah.
he's like, fuck yeah, I'm solid as shit, man. I'll
Yep.
shank that one right now. Check this
Yep.
shit out. And I like that he has taken that from that world and brought it into dating. It's very
Definitely,
rare
it's
that
rare.
somebody will adapt that.
But the right chick's going to come along and see that and appreciate
absolutely, the
that
right
piercing.
chick. That is right. Yes.
And that cool piercing.
Like I said, I'm all about the old school.
Up.
I know how to treat a lady. If a lady's a lady, I put my lady first
Oh,
and
yeah.
foremost.
He's in prison.
And I do worship the ground she walks on.
Yeah.
So let's hook this up. Let's do it right.
Let's
Let's
do it
hook
right.
it up. Let's do it
And
right.
he also said, if a lady's a lady, which means if you're not quite the lady he's expecting, that could go another way.
He could cut your throat open.
I don't know. Something could happen.
Yes, Alex. I'll take monkey dick and bull, pussy. For 200, please.
Oh, okay.
And the daily double. Fuck you, goddammit.
I didn't expect that.
That was such a fucking
Such a turn,
curveball.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was really wooing me, and then that stuff seemed a little aggressive.
I think it could also you could run into that if you were dating.
I'm turned off now. I would like the top where he was like, I want to worship you
Yeah.
and I treat you like a lady. I was like, yeah,
Well,
I
let's
want
see,
those things.
Let's see where it goes from there.
Hey, bro. Don't trip for all you motherfucking haters. It's all good, bro. Keep hating. Obviously in your DNA. It's what you're about.
Yeah.
You punk ass bitches.
Oh, okay.
Keep on hating. It's all good.
Yeah. How'd that make you feel?
I just like, it just raises insecure. You know what I mean? Like he had me and I want to treat you like a lady. And then he's like, it's all good. Like when people have to say
Also,
like,
I think if you do,
it's not
hey,
attractive.
If you do haters keep hating,
Yeah.
you shouldn't go then to like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
You got to be like, I don't care. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't, if you
Yeah.
have aggression in response, like it's actually you are agitated by it.
Yeah, which is what this video always is, which is like, fuck you haters. Like, why are you, then don't even address them.
Don't address the haters.
That's the power move.
Right.
You know,
Right.
he's giving them more power, and like now I'm turned off.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was gonna date him, and now I'm like, no, thank you.
You know, prison will wire you a certain way that kind of bleeds into real life.
Prison will build you in such a way.
Yeah, I am built in such a way that I can't really help myself.
It's not going to get hard till I'm ready to come.
Okay.
God, he haunts us.
He haunts.
He haunts my life. Where he's like, that's my hole. That's where it spits. I think about that once a week.
Yeah. Well,
that's my hole.
Yeah.
That's where it spits.
Man, that just stuck with me. That and that time my stepdad kissed me in the corner of the mouth. I didn't.
Size.
Yeah, it's not that big. There's a few things that haunt me.
It's not normal size.
It's not that big.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to be needing a doggy bag to take it home.
Man.
Yeah.
I'd like to share with you, Tom, when I was at CB Live in Fartnix, Arizona recently.
Yeah.
There's a mommy by the name of Alex who doesn't work at that club, actually, but requested to work the club because he was such a mommy. And he showed me a tattoo that he and his fiance got. And I would love for you to share this with our audience because I thought it was just so wonderful.
Okay.
And so dedicated.
Okay, let's see. I
Really shows the dedication of the mommy tribe out there. I just wanted to give him a shout out. And there they are.
Cow.
So that's Alex and his fiance, and his tattoo says, "Don't be stingy," and hers says, "Handsome woman."
Wow.
Don't be stingy.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
They're
You got
really.
that beautiful mouth.
Yeah.
I like when people find love through YMH. Like when
Sure.
they bond on it,
Yeah.
they trauma bond. Basically, that's what that is.
That
It's
is
like,
what that is.
Are you fucked up the way I'm fucked up? Let's get married.
You never know who you're going to find here.
Really, the bottom line is,
Oh no.
right here, right now, I'm tired of being alone. I'm sick to death of being alone.
Oh dear. Uh-oh.
Come on, Mrs. Wright, where are you?
Oh.
Because I'm right here. Let's hook it up. Let's talk. Let's do this.
Uh-oh. Okay, now we're getting into desperate territory.
Yeah, it just took a turn.
Bad energy.
That was not a good turn.
It's bad energy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Also, I will say this. I think you should treat this correctly. I don't think that TikTok is the right platform, though, to resolve this.
Now, Tom, Yana, might I suggest, I'm not on the dating apps, but I know the youngins are in the office, whatnot, what have you. And usually there's photographs that you swipe on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a video perhaps instead where you could see the person talk? You could see what they look like.
So then, but that's an argument for TikTok to be
used as a dating platform. Hit me up. DM me. It's like an entire archive of their madness. You can see exactly how they're mentally ill.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of ideal. I'm sure you kids already use the TikTok as a dating app.
Do you?
I would.
Do you guys use TikTok as a dating app?
I'd slide into DMs.
No. I only use it for work. And also, I think Hinge lets you do a video.
Yeah, you can do videos.
Do
now.
people do the videos though, or is that frowned upon? Is that nerdy?
No, you do it. They do
You
it.
do? All right.
Does that work in their favor or in their not favor?
Depends on who they are and what they act like on video.
This guy, it would totally work. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, this would be good for him.
Oh, this guy?
You come.
Oh, I think that the video would work against him. He needs to not speak as much as possible.
Yeah.
He needs to zip the lip.
He should go on Tinder and just put photos up.
You have him in the flag, like some conservative woman would be like, I love he's patriotic.
I love that.
He loves his country.
Bridge piercing. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweating like a black man.
I think that what he would also, his bio line would just be like solid motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then some chick would be like, oh, I'm looking for a solid dude.
Same yeah.
Well, look, why
So
don't we
cool.
let's take a quick break
Okay.
and we'll be right back.
You've got back-to-back meetings, errands to run, and you need to pick up those last-minute sweets and treats for the Halloween party. What's the secret to clearing your to-do list? A little help from DoorDash. You can get the best Halloween candy, decor, and party supplies around. Guess what I ordered on DoorDash? Candy, because I didn't have time to go get it. And yes, it was a maze. The thrill of finding the perfect costume, the anticipation of trick-or-treating, the excitement of having the spookiest decorations in the neighborhood. You can get all your Halloween sweets, treats, and supplies all in one place, delivered directly to your door with DoorDash. With DoorDash, you're not just getting the things you love, but supporting the community you love too. For a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off up to a $20 value and $0 delivery fees when you download the DoorDash app and enter code HOUSE. That's 50% off up to a $20 value and $0 delivery fees when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code HOUSE. Don't forget, that's code HOUSE for 50% off up to a $20 value and $0 delivery fees with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply.
It's sports season, baby, and our sponsor, True Classic, has everything you need to make the most of that lineup. Whether you have abs of steel or a soft, cream-filled center, finding the right t-shirt can be terrible. Most t-shirts are too tight in all the wrong places or way too big and boxy, but not True Classic. This is the brand behind the softest, flattering, and most comfortable t-shirt of the year. Athletes may have jerseys, but we have True Classic. True Classic is the one-stop shop for your favorite casual crew necks, polos, and activewear. And I'm telling you, they give all those expensive brands out there a run for their money. These are the uniforms you need in your closet. They do the styling, you do the wearing. It's that simple. So we want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 25% off with the code MOM at trueclassic.com. It really feels like True Classic is making bespoke t-shirts for you. They fit so good, you look good in them. You may even get more reps in with True Classic because when you look good, you feel good. Guys, don't drop the ball. Upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code MOM. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. That's 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code MOM. Strengthen your core wardrobe with True Classic today. And we're back with just a man who's lived a very average life. Been on Saturday Night Live. Most people have become U.S. senators. Al Franken, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
guys.
no, thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
Just
no, thank you.
you're going to be the only former U.S. senator on tour.
Currently on tour.
That is a wild thing. That I mean, just to say, United States senator is there a holy shit moment when they're like when
I won?
Yeah.
That was I clobbered my opponent in the first race by 312 votes. I don't know if you remember, we had a recount that lasted essentially 9 months. It was a legal battle, and so finally when it happened, I was thrilled. Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And then when I got sworn in, I was the 60th Democratic senator, and that's how we got the Affordable Care Act. So you're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Crazy, dude. We were just talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He, too, was in politics. Do you know him?
I don't think I've met him. I probably would have remembered.
Yeah.
He's shorter than you think. He became, I believe, governor.
Yes, he did.
California.
Yeah. But it's just also, I mean,
beloved.
It's it is wild. I mean, obviously, there was this other guy.
The only governor of a state who couldn't pronounce his state.
Yes.
So that's a little trivia.
Yeah. But just to come from, show business and get into the position that you got into,
and comedy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because everything I'd ever done was put through this thing called the dehumorizer. It was they used Russian technology, the Republicans, to take everything I'd ever done and take the irony out. I mean,
oh sure,
yeah, of course.
Well, it's particularly well done when people do it in print, because in print, they'll take things people have said and then they'll write this, and they're like, someone said this, and you're like, wow, is that the full context of how that was said? Because if it was comedy, it's not going to be really registered.
I'll give you an example. One of the first interviews I did with the newspaper, I thought SNL was going to be like a feather in my cap when I was running. And it turned out the people in Minnesota didn't really see the connection between comedy and the United States Senate.
Yeah.
And so And it was, if anything, used against me. So one of the first interviews I did, I'm asked, the first question was, when you were at SNL, did you ever do cocaine? And I went, yes, but I only did a little, and only so I could stay awake late enough to make sure that Belushi didn't do too much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, you got that was a joke.
Yeah.
Sure. The fucking reporter writes it up. Al Franken acknowledged doing cocaine while he was a writer at SNL, but said he only did a little so he could stay awake late enough to make sure that cast member John Belushi didn't do too much. Belushi later died of a drug overdose. And that's every fucking thing I'd ever done. I'm sorry to use the language. I know that offends you guys. So, and then so in the 90s, I did a magazine article warning parents about what their kids are getting online. You have 2 little kids.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. So, but I did it satirically. So I said, last week, my son did a great 4th grade report on bestiality. And he downloaded a lot of great visual aids, and the kids in the class just loved him. So this gets written up as Al Franken helped his son do a 4th grade report on bestiality.
Fantastic. Yeah. Do you think people see through this at a certain point, though? Like,
we had to do focus groups. Chuck Schumer, who was head of the Democratic Senate campaign committee at the time, thought, oh, this is too much baggage. He can't win.
Yeah.
So we had to do focus groups. What you do is your pollster goes in, and we have people
like a movie focus group almost.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And like the first question she asked was like, if you knew Al Franken told jokes about bestiality, would you be more likely to vote for him?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it turned out less likely.
Yeah.
But what happened is when you explain, the Minnesotans got irony.
Yeah.
And they got satire. So in context, and I clobbered Coleman. I ended up winning.
It's remarkable. It is really, I don't know. It's hard to not be like cynical about politics, right? I mean,
really?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, for me, I'm saying that like when I look at just at the full scope of like, you know, the news comes on and someone comes on, it's really hard to still go like to treat this person as to look at them as, oh, this is somebody who's working hard to make this country a better place and that really cares about it. It just feels like so toxic. The whole,
it is very toxic now. We're incredibly divided as a country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know, when I got to the Senate in 2009, first day I was there, I was talking to some of the guys who'd been there a while, and one of them said, "This is the worst it's ever been." And then Carl Levin from Michigan, who'd been there a long time, said, "Oh, it's been worse." And I said, "When?" He said, 1854.
Oh, Jesus.
And he was talking about Charles Sumner getting caned by he was a Boston representative who was caned by a guy from South Carolina. And I said, well, that was in the lead up to the Civil War.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, okay. Well, after that, this is the worst it's been.
Oh, my God.
And since then, it's just gotten so much worse.
Yeah.
And now it's and a lot of that I think is Trump. He's very divisive. And
that guy.
Let me explain when I'm.
He was fucking.
He was the best. That guy. He was just peace and love. Can I ask you though, being that you've been in show business and politics, which industry is slimier? I mean, to navigate both, you have to be clever.
There are similarities, obviously, in that there's a lot of, it's rough. It's a tough business, right? And I know better than anybody. And so they're both in different ways. That's all.
Different ways.
But right now, politics is so toxic.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Do you think also that one of the things that has made this even more toxic and made people more cynical and probably more divisive is the fact that news, the way that we consume news has changed so much like over the course of both of our lives. But my life, I feel a dramatic shift where news felt like it was objective. It was just presented. People read prompter. Here's what happened. And then it's all personality driven and entertainment. And you just go to the source that you want to hear that position from. It's no longer like, I don't even know how people that are super savvy get objective news. You have to really do the work to get it.
Well, I think there are some, news organizations that are more objective than others and more professional than others. I wrote a book called Rush Limbaugh is a Big Fat Idiot and Other Observations. I wrote that came out in 95 after Gingrich had won. And that was about Rush. There was a thing called the Fairness Doctrine, and that the FCC, it said that when you're broadcasting, this is when everything was broadcasting. There was no internet.
Right.
So when you're broadcasting, you have to present both sides.
Right.
That was actually a thing. And then they got rid of it in 1987, and Rush Limbaugh, figured it out. And he was extremely talented.
Yeah.
He had 20 million listeners,
Wow,
and there was a reason for that. He's very talented, but he was also awful. He was homophobic. He was, anti-feminist. He was
xenophobic,
racist. I mean, he was
terrible person.
My stepdad loved Rush Limbaugh.
Tell him the irony, though, of your stepdad loving Rush Limbaugh.
Well, my stepdad was an Indian immigrant, so he was like, but he loved America, and he was a capitalist, and he loved making money, and he loved the Republican Party because he believed that money was the great equalizer, and so he identified as conservative.
And he changed his name from
Subhash to Dean after Dean Martin, because he loved Dean Martin. But he loved Rush.
What's his last name?
It was Aurora. He's dead.
Aurora.
Yeah.
Dean Aurora.
Yeah.
Had a nice
Well, that sounds like a stage name, doesn't
Yeah.
But he loved Rush. He had the books and everything in our house.
That's wild.
People loved him.
Yeah, the thing, as I said, he was talented, and also there should be two parties, and right now we have the Republican Party has kind of stopped participating in good faith in our democracy. The big, that the election was stolen. The election wasn't stolen,
Yeah.
and that's like a big lie. And when Republicans are afraid to contradict that, they're buying into something that's pretty dangerous.
And all of that is really like predicated on a genuine fear of Trump, though, right? Like when they go like, I'm not going to speak out. Or
Exactly.
They're like, I'm scared of this guy.
Yeah, my former Republican colleagues, some of whom I still talk with, readily will admit that they know the election wasn't stolen and yet won't say it out loud, and literally will say to me, well, if I do that, I'll lose my primary and you'll get something crazy, you'll get someone crazier than me. And I said, the key word there is crazier.
Yeah.
But they're afraid of him.
Yeah. He's a vindictive dude. I mean, he really is a spiteful, vindictive dude.
And he showed it. Anybody who defied him got destroyed, basically. So it's scary. But, I don't want to just
I know.
talk about,
of course,
that the stuff that I care about.
Yeah, of course.
And that I feel is, urgent danger to our civilization.
Well, let's just start them. We'll change gears. Let me just tell you that growing
we can certainly
up,
come back. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Chris.
Go ahead.
Because you spoke to information systems, and I just wanted to just talk about that. Rush Limbaugh was talk radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wrote a book called Lies and Lying Liars Who Tell a Fair and Balanced Look at the Right. It was about Fox. Okay, and then Fox happened, so that's cable. Now we have the internet.
Yeah, it's wild.
And you're right. It's now you get your information where you want to get your information, and that's big part of the division in this country. There, said that.
Scary.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I was going to tell you that when I watched you growing up as a younger person, and I saw you on SNL, I think you were the first person, the comedian, that I felt like a smarter person for liking you. You know what I mean? Like it gave me street cred. I'm like, oh, I like Al Franken. I must be sophisticated. And like my sense of humor is very sophisticated.
And I can confirm it is not. But
I felt that way.
I know exactly what you're feeling. Yes, you adopt, you go like, well, if this...
There's been some atrophy.
Yeah. You just go like, this person's smart and it's funny and I'm enjoying it. Therefore I'm smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and I got that too.
You know, I wrote a lot of the political sketches. Mainly on the show, I was a writer. Right?
Yeah.
And so I wrote a lot of, I wrote with Jim Downey, and Jim Downey's a brilliant writer, and he's a Republican, a moderate Republican. He's an anti-Trumper, but we felt like, and this was Jim's motto, it was to reward people for knowing stuff, but not punish them for not. And that's a bar, right?
Yeah.
That's setting yourself
that's
a bar.
Me. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't feel so stupid watching Al Franken. I feel smart.
We were trying to, if you didn't know the ins and outs of stuff, you didn't miss anything.
Right.
But if you did, you went, oh, wow, I'm not seeing this anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was I was very proud of that. I did 15 seasons on the show. And I wrote a lot of
damn.
Yeah.
It's
and
amazing.
you were there season 1?
Season 1, 75 to 80. Tom Davis and I were to the original.
Will you Google this cast, please?
That you didn't have to deal with what I always imagine is the what it must be like for someone to join after the show had been established. Like that, I always feel
terrifying.
Like that feels
people.
like it seems terrifying. But you were season 1, so you don't even know what the fuck you guys are going to be, right? Like when you get there.
No, I remember I went with Tom, and so the original cast is Belushi, Aykroyd, Chevy,
Gilda Radner too, right?
Garrett, Gilda, Jane, and Lorraine.
Oh my God!
And I see the writers, Mike O'Donoghue, all these great writers. And I remember saying to Tom, I said, "This show's going to be a hit." And Tom, being Tom, was going like, "Yeah, right." And it was. I mean, it was. But it was really we had the opportunity to get these people from our generation. This is the first time our generation was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tom and I did stand up. We're working out at the Comedy Store in LA, and this William Morris agent called us, had us come in and said, "You guys your material is great. Would you ever think of writing for, a variety show?" And we went, "Yeah," but there was nothing on that we could write for.
Sure.
Carson is a great show. I thought the Tonight Show was great, but we were not Carson Mighty art players, writers, and we weren't his monologue. That wasn't us. Carol Burnett show was on. That was a great show, but wrong generation.
Yeah.
And then Sonny and Cher was a show it was on. It was not so great. So, but he said, why don't you put a package together of what you'd like to see on a show you'd like to, and we put a package that had a news parody, a sketch. The sketch was a parody of Sonny and Cher. We did a commercial parody, and we did a conceptual film. And it was 14 pages long. So this is, you must get submissions from people for things, or
we've seen not currently, but over the years, sure.
And do people submit, like, here's a writing sample, and they submit 50 pages?
It's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And you go like, no.
Sometimes it's like binders.
Yeah. And you go like, you can tell after a page, right?
Yeah.
If someone's got an original voice.
Yeah.
And if they're funny. It's funny, and something new.
Yeah. And then you guys submitted that, and it was just...
We submitted that, and we just... then we got a call from him, be there on Monday. We were in L.A. on a Friday. Be there on Monday, and that was in July. And the show started in October.
77, 8?
75.
75.
Shit, man.
So you were there from 75 to like 2000, is that right?
75 to 80. And then I left for 5 years.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And then I was a Lauren again writer. Lauren left, and then I came back in 85, and then we were there till 95. Till 95.
Till 95.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What was Gilda Radner? No, I'm thinking because that's the cast that I like it's formative for me. I
For
was
sure.
born in 76, but when I had an interest in comedy, I was 10 years old, and I like studied you guys, you know? What was Gilda Radner like? I always love her.
I love Gilda. She was obviously hilarious, really smart, and one of the great instinctive performers, and with the energy. I mean, she's just the best. Alan Zweibel wrote a lot for her.
Who?
Alan Zweibel was a writer on the show, and he wrote a lot for
Gilda?
Emily Otella and Rosanna Dana.
Rosanna Dana. Oh my God, the violins.
What was great about that cast was we only had 7 members of that cast.
Yeah.
And that meant that they all got to do stuff every week. Mm-hmm. And right now, you know, the cast is so big that it's almost not fair that people don't get on enough, because you just get comfortable when you're doing it and you play everything.
Yeah. It seems like the cast sometimes is like 20 some people or something. You see so many faces. You're like, I can't keep up.
When you know, if there was a waiter in a scene, it was a writer.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like one of the featured players, and it's nothing, you know.
That's what's so great about the first cast is you felt the energy of something being discovered and created in real
that's
time.
what was happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you felt it was palpable. It was so exciting, and the goof ups, and I don't know, it was so revolutionary. It was so cool.
That also, you fell
that.
into my wheelhouse as far as the time. I feel like if you're a kid and you like comedy, you end up having an era that you're just in with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that would have been like as the '80s ended into the '90s was like that was when I watched the most. That's when I was.
That was, you know, again, you have an amazing cast.
Oh, yeah.
The show has had amazing casts all throughout.
Sure.
And the show, you know, I tell the story that the first show of the second season, the show's over. I go back up to 17th floor. Phone's ringing. I answer the phone, and someone goes, "Well, the show's dead. That was terrible." And so the Saturday Night Dead has been going on since year 2. So, you know, but that era was an amazing cast.
Yeah.
Hartman.
Oh,
you know, unbelievable. Jan Hooks, Carvey, Nealon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nealon attitude. I mean, you could write a piece. You know, everyone loves Chippendales. That piece, obviously.
Yeah.
His attitude in that, if you look at that piece, Nealon is such a
driving it, right? Like
driving it. It's so brilliant. And that was Downey. Downey wrote that too.
So funny.
But it was, that cast was pretty amazing. But yeah, that period, I love that period.
Yeah,
it was like,
and Dana was just on fire.
On fire.
And we had those cold openings with George H.W. Bush. Not gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, when he found that, Downey and I would write these cold openings. And it was like a crutch, because we could just put them out there. And sometimes we'd write, so never said this to another performer. Sometimes we'd write a piece and you get too many laughs.
Yeah.
In dress. And we go up to him and go, like, "Dana, we're losing the through line." Because he would just do that thing up over there.
Yeah.
And then he'd point at, and people would just laugh. And at a certain point, they'd miss the through line of, we actually had a point to the piece.
Yeah.
But Dana completely understood what we were saying and dialed it exactly down right.
Back
He's
just
an
enough.
amazing performer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was clear what a star performer you were watching when you watched him.
Holy
then.
shit.
Yeah.
And he was getting laughs at will.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, when you write a piece and you're in it, like when you did Stewart, which became an iconic character, you're throwing it out there, like do you know it's a hit, like first time you're like, oh shit, we have something, like we really have something here? Because that was became a recurring bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't on that much.
Uh-huh.
I was like what's called a featured player.
Right.
I was one of the people that is on the long list, but I was in the second group. And just every once in a while, like Franken and Davis would get on. Like we would, if the show just a lot of stuff died and they needed something, they throw us on.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I did steward. I'm in Al-Anon, which is for family members and friends of alcoholics, and so I went to an Al-Anon meeting.
So that's the origin of this.
It is. Okay. It was a guy in a meeting.
Oh my God.
And the guy is saying something like, I just know that the higher power put an apartment in my life. And I'm going like, this guy's, this guy's an idiot. Yeah. But then the next week he said something that just hit me. And I went, oh, I see. You can learn stuff from people, from like everyone, or from people who aren't intellectuals,
sure.
Which is a stupid fucking bias I had.
Right.
And so I thought, oh, I see. Let's do a character who's in recovery and he's way too much into it, and into the, it's easier to put on slippers than to carpet the entire world.
Yeah.
So I thought I had something.
What I remember most about that era, and like, for instance, that character in that, is that it became a thing. I don't know if you have an awareness of this, that as like, if you're a kid and you're in school, we start saying that, like, you were having kids in schools saying that to each other. We'd all say that to each other. We would be on the bus, or we'd be in class.
I wish you had said that to Lorne.
Jesus. We fucking would say that. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me. So then that led me to, I wanted to ask you about this. One time I heard Chris Rock say about, all the famous people who had come in and how crazy it is when the very famous people come in. He goes, but nothing in his experience compared to when Michael Jordan hosted the show.
Oh God.
And I remember that he did that bit with you, and you were telling, it was so funny to watch you go, be like, you're going to score a point. Don't worry. Or like, you're not,
you must, think everyone else is better than me.
Yeah.
I'm not, and then I did an affirmation with him. I don't have to throw the ball into the basket. Yeah. And he did it, and
it murdered. Yeah.
It murdered, and it peaked on air.
Yeah, it
peaked on air is an important thing.
Right, versus rehearsal, versus
and guess what? Michael Jordan takes notes really well.
Really?
It turns out that he's kind of has a mind for strategy.
So what was it? It was wild what that week was like with him there?
First of all, he's Michael Jordan.
Sure.
Okay, there's that. And they were just going to do the first Olympics where NBA players.
Yeah.
And I remember saying in his dressing room, going like, well, are you like confident? He goes, yeah. It was like, and he was like the most confident
human being
I've ever met, but kind of for good reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did a joke once that kind of died at the ESPYs. Lorne produced the ESPYs one year. So I presented an award. And so this is after the second three-peat. Okay. So I come out and I go like, I just want to say something. A lot of people are saying that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player who ever lived. Well, all I can say is, Michael, prove it. And this is an audience of a lot of people in sports.
Yeah.
And they were going, he's proven it. The irony
of course.
of it. And I'm going, oh boy. Okay.
You're like,
moving on.
Oh my God.
It got some.
Yeah. You're
something.
like, well, that's why I said it. He doesn't need to prove it.
Yes.
Stupids.
So speaking of awesome hosts, you were there also with one of the most highly celebrated hosts of all time, I believe, in one of my favorites, Steven Seagal.
I know he's one of your favorites.
Oh my God.
Worst host by lapped every bad host.
This is somebody that you've been there. You did 15 seasons.
15 seasons.
You've seen hundreds of hosts.
Yes.
And lapped people as the worst.
First of all, everything you say in the bit, your bit, great bit about him is absolutely fucking true. Everything, he's always just bragging on something that he did that he didn't do. And is just the most awful person. Okay, now I'll give you. Okay, here's an example. So we do read through. We do read through on Wednesdays, and after read through, Lauren sits with the host, and I was a producer too, so I sat in the room with him. So it was me, Lauren, and Seagal. And Seagal's an idiot in addition to everything else, and has no sense of humor in addition to everything else.
Christ.
Great fit for the show.
So he literally does this. He says, I have an idea for a sketch.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Okay, so I'm a psychiatrist, and that's Victoria Jackson, comes in, and I'm her psychiatrist, and I hypnotize her, and I have sex with her. And then at the end, I tell her she's got to come back every week. So,
dude, that's a great sketch.
Yes, isn't that great? So I'm looking at Lauren is going like, oh my. And I'm going like, Lauren has to maintain a relationship with the host. So Lauren's looking at me, and I go, and this is what I say. I say, so you want us to do the ugliest sketch that's ever been on television? And he says to me, you don't like any of my ideas. Okay, fine. I took it for Lauren. Needless to say, we didn't do that piece.
Yeah.
But he all week was just awful in so many ways, some of which I just... Okay, so.
Yes.
2 weeks later, I think it was Nicolas Cage is on.
Uh-huh.
Nicolas Cage does a monologue, and he had just been in Moonstruck, I think, and Honeymoon in Vegas. And in this monologue, he's going like, "Oh, it was great to be in Moonstruck because I got to see Cher's ass like every." And then doing Honeymoon in Vegas. I mean, I got this every morning. I get to see Sarah Jessica Parker's boobs, and then Lauren or Davey Wilson, the director, goes, Nicholas, could you? Lauren wants to talk to you. Could you come out to the well area? And he goes, remember that thing? He walks out, and Lauren's there and goes, why are you talking about your co-star's, breasts? And he goes, well, because it was just so great. And I go, Sofia Coppola is your cousin. If we had a host on and said, like, I was, on a set and with Sofia Coppola, and it was great because I got to look at her boobs and go, oh man, you're right. Oh, God, you must think I'm the worst host who's ever hosted this show. And Lauren goes, no, that would be Steven Seagal. Okay, now,
oh my God.
A couple weeks later, I'm booked on The Tonight Show. Jay's doing the show. And I look at the TV guide. They had TV guides at this point or something. I look at something, and it's like me and the Ramones. Mm-hmm. And I go like, that can't be the show. I'm not a lead guest. There's got to be someone else. Yeah, you got it. I show up. It's Steven Seagal. So he does his thing. I come out. Ramones play. I come out as a guest. So I do my first segment, and then come back, and Seagal leans over to me and go like, why did Lauren say that about me? That I was the worst host ever. Now I freeze. I can't. I'm just going, and Leno, Oh, yeah, it's, because you're such a big star. He had to pick a big star, Everyone knows you, And also, you're like a tough guy. You can beat anybody up, so that's the joke. He picked you because you're such a big star, and you could, kick his ass.
Smart.
And Seagal goes, oh. Yeah.
He's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So that's my Seagal story.
That's amazing. That is. I have.
Jay saved my ass.
I've been collecting these Seagal stories like for years from everybody that I meet, and I mean, Tom Arnold has one of the best ones I've heard where they did Cradle to the Grave, a movie with it was Seagal, Tom Arnold, DMX, and there's a scene on a houseboat, and so they're gonna roll. And they go, let's block it out first. And then Seagal goes, let's roll. And they go, well, we got to block it out, though. Because we're on this houseboat. And then and they said that Seagal goes, roll it.
Oh.
And they're like, all right, take one. Da-da-da, action. Seagal opens the door, walks into the water. Like, just falls into the water. And he
Good thing they were rolling.
Yeah, man. He said he came up. He goes, you can see black ink just like rolling down his face because he has that super black.
Yeah, the
hair.
Giuliani.
Yes.
Week.
But I heard this about that week. I forget who said it because a lot of other people that were at SNL have cited him and that week as the example of like the worst host and week. Was that that when sketches were pitched, and I don't know if this is accurate, you could tell me, and the host gets to kind of go like, I don't want to do that, or that sounds, that he just was like, nope, to anything that was like a joke.
Oh, like he's
that he
the butt
didn't get
of
or
the
was
joke
about
or
him.
something?
I don't know if that.
Well, that was what that meeting was like afterwards with Lauren.
Was like, no.
Well, and he also he insisted on doing a diatribe about the environment.
Oh, my God.
So I don't think we've ever repeated that show, but for a good reason. But at the end, there's like
so embarrassing.
He insisted that we write a sketch where at the end he can do something.
Oh my God! Why do people do that? I hate when people force their message. I know. Yeah. Can I ask you? So I know writers' rooms have their own culture and their own flavor. Mm-hmm. Let's say you're a regular in the writers' room at SNL, and you just pitch the dumbest idea. Mm-hmm. Who tells you it's the dumb idea and how?
Okay. This is an interesting thing because I have a team that advises me because I'm still kind of involved in politics. And if I say something that they think is strategically bad for me to say, even if it's funny, not because it's funny, but because they think it's strategically bad, they go, I have one advisor who just goes, it's not funny. And that's not what she means. She means that don't do that. Yeah, right. But she says, that's not funny. And at a certain point, I said, don't say that.
Yeah.
So I was asked, like, what do people say in a writer's room when someone pitches something that doesn't? And no one says that's not funny. Most of all, the writer's table was rewrites. And that was Thursday night. Schneider came up with the best response, I thought, which was someone pitched something. He'd go, that one curved foul.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Because it means you got some wood on it, which is kind a lot of times. So, you just, if someone pitched an idea, you go, I don't know, or you might humor, just try it.
Did you ever have I don't knows turn into hits?
Yeah.
Like, really? Like where you're like, and then you see it and you're like, holy shit, this actually.
Believe me, you have arguments over what should be in the show. Yeah. What should be blocked, what you should make a set for.
Yeah.
And so, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
You don't know. Sometimes you know. Yeah. And sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's taste.
Sure.
That's what Lauren's thing is. He has this broad taste, and he brings in all these different, tastes. And there'll be, I have narrow tastes in some ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah. which is a weakness and a strength.
Sure. Yeah, but his is very broad and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
and discerning
yeah.
and smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point because there's so many different flavors on that show, but when they come together,
it still sounds
great.
to me like even to this day whenever I hear that, like whenever they announce so and so has been hired, you know, like the new cast members or something, one of my first thoughts is like, God, that's got to be intimidating to show up.
Oh my fucking Lord!
Yeah,
especially now with the size.
Yeah.
Of the cast, but it's an amazing opportunity.
Of course,
so you're excited. But yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah,
it's a little Hunger Gamesy.
Yeah,
you know, unfortunately. Again, we had 7 cast members in the beginning, and that was such a luxury for them because they got so much time that you get relaxed.
Yeah.
Right.
Imagine being a new featured player.
Oh my God.
And you get on once every 3 weeks.
Dude,
or
I
something.
would have such diarrhea being a new person in SNL right now.
Oh yeah, my God.
I wouldn't, especially like a young comic. Like, no way.
Well, I've heard so many of them
crazy.
talk about it, and they talk exactly as you're speaking about how it would just fill them with anxiety and just.
Well, you made a really good point at the beginning of this, which was that I didn't have to show up. I mean, I didn't have to come into the show.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I just was one of those people. And man, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh my God. I know. I've literally thought about it countless times. I'm like, I always wonder, like, do people show up like smile, like don't look too happy to be there. You're not cool. Like, you know, I'm like how do they even walk into the room? And when do they speak up? You know, like that's the stuff that runs through my head.
I'm not there now. The critical mass there. I mean, there's just so many people there.
Yeah.
So many writers, and we had like 12 writers too. Now I don't know. I see the crawl, and there's just there's a lot more people there.
Yeah, that sign off the stage is full.
Oh my!
You know,
gosh.
when it's like good night, it's like you see like 40 people or something. It's wild.
Yeah.
You have a lot of hair.
Yeah,
I do for a person my age.
Looks great.
It does look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Full head.
I think on the video version of this, it'll be
it'll pop.
It'll really
I know mine doesn't. So yeah.
Well, you got this. That's the thing. The shave thing.
I mean, I don't have an option. I could, I guess, rock the old horseshoe with the
male pattern baldness.
Yes.
A great look.
I mean, I never understood. Like, you know, my dad rocked it, and I was like, "Why don't you just take it down all the way? You know, why don't you just?"
People didn't
and
do
that. He was like, "No,"
Now
and then
they
he would
do.
also leave. You know, like the. I go, "Why don't you just clean the dome, like the part that's already gone?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "They call them survivors." I'm like, "What the
my
fuck?"
God.
Like, I'm like, it would look better.
It would look better.
And he just
comb overs are hilarious.
Yes.
Oh my God.
My mom said that he when they got together, he had one that was like over the top.
So Carl Levin, who I mentioned,
Yes, he's got a famous one.
His comb over was so awful, and I went on a CODEL, that's a congressional delegation.
Carl Levin,
Carl Levin,
yeah.
So he was Michigan, a great senator.
Yes.
So he was chairman of the Armed Services Committee, and I go with him to Afghanistan.
Look at that thing.
And you got it?
Yeah.
Holy shit balls.
Where's the good comb over? Yeah, well, so terrible comb over.
Yeah.
So we come back from the trip, and I'm in the cloakroom, and it's Carl's there, and I had just gotten a very short haircut, and I have a full head of hair. And Carl says to me, "Wow, you got a short haircut." I said, "Well, you can do that when you have hair." and Bill Nelson is there from Florida. And I start saying, like, we just got back from Afghanistan, and we went to a forward operating base, and we took a helicopter there, and Carl got off the helicopter while the blade's still going, and he didn't wear his helmet. And you know what that's like with the wind from the thing. And I said, and one of his hairs went all the way back to North America.
Holy shit, man.
And then both of them laughed, but Bill said, "See, now I couldn't get away with a joke like that." And I said, well, first you'd have to think of it, Bill.
Jesus Christ, dude. They weren't used to having a professional comedian.
No, but it was fun. Yeah. It was fun.
Do you ever feel like at times when you're in politics that you want to like help people like this? Like you want to show business them up a bit? Like, hey, Carl, why don't you fucking do something with this? I mean, you have a sensibility. You put together. You don't feel like...
Hey, buddy, let me help you out a little bit.
Come on, Carl. You look fucked up.
Carl was a great senator. And the last thing I should do is tell him something like that.
I know, but...
And also, somebody's told him.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I guess.
I hope, yeah.
How did it work when you're in the Senate and, maybe before you know somebody personally, right? You see somebody on the news, you don't know them, but you might find somebody so wholly unlikable. Just like you're repulsed by them.
Yeah.
But then you're in this position now where like, well, this is actually now my work colleague. Do you have to change your mindset of like, well, I have to at least attempt to be able to work with or in some capacity with this person?
Yeah. I mean, you work whenever you can do something, accomplish something for people. You try to do it in a bipartisan way if you can. And there are a lot of things that have nothing to do with partisanship. So I would do, let me think of something I did. Crisis intervention training for cops. Crisis intervention training is training cops to recognize when they've been in a situation that's kind of fueled by a mental health issue or drug addiction, and how to de-escalate that. And so I wrote a bill to do federal funds to teach cops to do that. And it works. It works. And police departments have done it. It cuts down on them killing people unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And so I did that with, John Cornyn of Texas, the Republican. So I would, when
How does a conversation like that start? Do you go, hey, I have an idea for something? And then and literally go like, what do you think? And they go, I like this idea. And then that's how you start working together.
Yeah, I'm putting this together, and what would you say? And or I would find a police chief in Texas who's for it.
Yeah,
and I'd say this police chief who in Dallas, is for this. So that's a lot of how you work it, and your staff is doing that kind of thing. They're finding.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay.
and your staff is working with their staff. So my judiciary counsel is working with his judiciary counsel and said, we're working on this and wants to, so maybe his staffer tells him first before I go.
Who is the Steven Seagal of the U.S. Senate? Like, who fucking sucks?
Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucks.
I have said that I probably like Ted Cruz more than most of my colleagues like Ted Cruz, and I hate Ted Cruz. He's your senator.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, God.
We see the signs. I know. He's a real piece of shit. Right?
Well,
he's so hated. It's weird when somebody keeps getting, you're like, everybody I know hates him.
Everybody.
I talk about him on stage in any market, in any place. And people all laugh at making fun of him. They all boo him. It doesn't matter where you are. And you're like, how does somebody get elected like this?
There's something wrong with him. I mean, he's smart.
Yeah, smart
Very
guy.
smart.
Yeah.
I have so many stories. In my act, I have a whole Ted Cruz section.
Oh, wow.
Amy Klobuchar, who is my senior senator, good sense of humor, and she's picked to do the Gridiron Dinner, which is this prestigious press dinner. And remember the Carnival Cruise?
Yes.
Okay, the Carnival Cruise in late 2013 is a cruise that goes out to the Gulf of Mexico. And it's a luxury cruise, billed as a luxury cruise. And they have an engine fire, and everything, the engine's gone, but so is everything else. The electricity, the plumbing, so there's all this poop floating on the decks, the poop decks, actual literal poop decks.
Yeah.
And so it's called the Poop Cruise. And it took like 2 weeks for tugboats to come and bring it back in.
God.
So these people had paid for a luxury cruise, and there's poop floating around. Okay, so Amy's doing this dinner, and she would not let me write jokes for her because everyone had always asked, did Al write jokes? But she let me do rewrites. Okay, so she comes up with this really good joke, which is when most people think of a bad cruise, they think of Carnival, but we in the Senate think of Ted.
That's great.
So I tell her, okay, I got to rewrite that I think is better. So you'll hear this at the end of this section of the Ted Cruz section. So next Thursday, I see her going to different senators who she's written jokes about. And so she heads to Ted, and I go, I want to be on this. Yeah. And so we're having, and she says, she softened the joke. She says, Ted, I'm doing a gridiron dinner, and I'm doing a joke about you, and I wonder if I could run it by you. He goes, I'll tell you what, I believe in the First Amendment. You go ahead and tell me your little joke. Fucking asshole. So she goes, when most people think of a difficult cruise, she softened it for him. They think of Carnival, but we Democrats in the Senate think of Ted. And he goes, instead of difficult, why don't you make it a challenging cruise?
Oh.
Yeah, and she kind of going like, oh, now it's not funny. And he's smart.
Yeah.
He's a dick, but he's smart. So he sees, like, okay, you go ahead and tell your little joke. Oh. I believe in the First Amendment. So I said, Ted, I've done a rewrite. Which I think is a lot better. And I see Amy go like, oh, no. But also, I want to be here for this. So he goes, okay, what is it? I go, when most people think of a cruise as full of shit,
ooh,
they think of Carnival, but we think of Ted.
Ooh.
And he just went, huh?
Yeah.
And I went,
yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah.
But he was a terrible, terrible colleague. And just everyone hates him. I mean, I think Lindsey Graham said if he were murdered on the floor of the Senate and the Senate was a jury, no one would convict him.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Yeah, and that's his own colleague. Like that's his own party.
Yeah, Lindsey's funny. He's he's gone off the rails, I think, but he's really funny.
Yeah.
How does the shit talking work between politicians? It seems like you guys are just so open about it. I mean, as you know,
no.
Like, would Ted Cruz get offended and fire back? Is he going to send you a text? Is he going to be like, "Fuck you, Franken," behind closed doors? Like, how does it work?
He was just kind of stunned, and I just turned and walked away. And he'd lied to me a lot, and he'd lied to other people, and everyone just hates him. And he's just got a real problem. Cancun, that was just
yeah.
He lied. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna go on a 4-day vacation to Cancun. And while Texas is frozen over, people are dying, right? So he gets caught. He's in a roller bag, and someone videotapes it, and then he gets photographed on the plane, and he lands, and the staff calls him, "We got a problem," and he just immediately just goes, "Well, I was just dropping the kids off."
Yeah.
And now I'm going right back. And the problem was he was in a group chat with some other families, and he and Heidi had invited a number of other families to go on a 4-day vacation with us to the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun, and Ted loves the Ritz-Carlton. Now, normally when you ask people to go on vacation with you, they're friends.
Yeah.
And friends don't usually go immediately to the New York Times with your text.
Yeah.
But they did.
They did, yeah. It's very telling.
Yeah.
It's very telling.
Yeah. Well, enough about him.
Okay, sure.
That's enough space.
Yeah. Fucking guy.
That fucking guy. But they seem a little more thick-skinned than comedians, because, like, if we talk shit on each other, there's hell to pay,
I got to ask you this. I have heard, and I don't know if this is true, that you can sketch from memory.
Yep.
But the entire North America? The United States?
No, just the 50 states.
What?
Can we pull out a pad real quick?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
I got to see this. So is this something that you were doing as a child that
no.
you just locked in?
No, I lost a bar bet.
Really? Which size? I brought you 2 sizes. I don't know which one.
I'll do the bigger.
Bigger? Okay. And there's a bunch of different pens in there.
Okay. So I'm in college. I go to a bar. Okay. Let me see. Well, that was good.
Wow, he chose the big fat permanent marker.
Yeah.
Damn, he's confident.
Yeah, I'm good at this.
So confident.
It's crazy. If you want to learn to juggle, you can juggle.
Yeah.
You learn to juggle.
Yeah.
So what happened was I lose this bar bet because the guy says to me, I bet you can't name all 50 states. I said, of course I can. I go Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona. I got 49. And I couldn't figure out which one I lost $10. And I said, that'll never happen again. If I draw the fucking map,
then
that won't happen. Yeah. Now, no one's ever done this before. So you got it. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so I start with the 49th parallel, of course. And that's start with Minnesota, my home state. And you were there. You live in Plymouth.
Yes, sir. I did live there in Plymouth. Holy shit, you actually...
Wow. He knows like the shapes to the...
Well, of course.
T.
Otherwise, what the hell is
Jesus
the point?
fucking Christ.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, and I'll try to do it faster than...
Yeah, no, take your
slow.
time. It's just this, I literally have never seen this.
People don't do this, but
No,
I do.
I like this. How long did this take for you to master?
Not that, I mean, I can't remember. I just started doing it, and, when I was a kid, my parents, I had a puzzle.
Yeah.
And it was wood. Every state, was, even Rhode Island was its own thing. So let me see. Okay. Well.
And then how often do you have to do it to keep it,
It's my doodle.
Yeah? It's your doodle. I got you.
Yeah, so.
It's my doodle.
doodle.
What's your doodle, Segura? Now I'm curious because he's right. Everyone has a doodle. What's your doodle?
It's usually, actually, I can do it for you.
Let's see your doodle.
I want to see your doodle.
Let's all do our doodles.
Do you have the smaller pad?
Here. Where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
This one.
I do.
Your doodle.
Let's all do our doodles.
Oh, my doodle will not be...
As impressive?
No,
Definitely
mine
not.
is stupid compared to yours.
Well.
I do this.
Okay.
I've been doing this for years.
Me too.
I'm really...
Funny. I never thought about it that people have their doodles.
Yeah. I usually... Oh, this is going to be a good one, I think. I have a good feeling about this one. Okay.
Thanks, bro. My doodle's done already, guys. I'm done.
Let me see your doodle.
I mean, it's like I said, very not...
Spiderweb?
Yeah, I do these since I was...
This is my doodle.
12. Let me see your doodle. Oh, yeah. You've done that guy.
Who is that?
I don't know. I just have always liked to draw a terrified guy.
That's very impressive.
Oh, thanks. I would go as far to say that yours is almost more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go as far as say that, too.
I also like to draw... the cubes, four-dimensional cubes, like this one that I learned in junior high. It's always whatever the fuck this is.
3.
Yeah. 3, 4. I'm in the fourth dimension. I live in the fourth dimension.
A cube in time. Okay.
We were just talking about Terminator and how the robots figured out a way to send back Schwarzenegger in time, but to also make a robot that spoke German as a first language. And had an Austrian accent. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a specific choice of the robot makers. But they were
machines.
Like, can you have him speak English as a second language? Very unusual. No one really talked about that back then.
Nobody did. And then I draw this version of the spider web, too. This is a full web.
That's a good
and
one.
then that's just like the corner web.
Oh,
and
I
then
love that.
Thank you. It's really hard,
Okay, I better get Texas
Big
right.
talent. Oh, yeah. Don't you dare. Oh, and here's another one I doodle a lot, too. This is one of my top. I learned this one in junior high school as well. Doodle. Oh, here we go. Okay, you ready for my other one? This one I doodle a lot. Have you seen this one? It's the cat's butt.
Oh, the cat's butthole, yeah.
That's my favorite of yours.
Thank you. Thank you. This one I've perfected over the years as well.
I've also liked to, I like to draw a beautiful woman.
It's really not pretty at all.
Over here. I like swimsuit models, So I just thought she was pretty. That way I get my own kind of wheels turning,
Yeah.
That's actually very telling.
Yeah, naked chicks, and then a guy with his tongue sticking out.
Yeah.
What does it tell?
Okay.
Holy shit, he's almost done.
That is.
Mine is a cat's asshole in spider webs.
That's very telling as well. Don't think that it isn't.
I wonder what a psychiatrist would say about that.
Shit.
I know, he even got, is that Hawaii?
That's Alaska.
Alaska.
Yeah,
I've
Hawaii,
even
I
been
just
there.
draw
I'm a
like
fucking idiot.
lots of little islands there.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Bro.
Wow.
Can you please sign that?
That's amazing.
Please?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That is
so cool.
That is really impressive.
Well, again, if you want to learn to juggle, you just
can do
juggle.
it. Yeah.
It's true. You apply yourself.
Okay, where's Austin? There? There?
Yeah, about there.
Yeah.
About there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, we're so cool. We live in Austin. Do you ever forget? Sometimes I forget.
I constantly say here, meaning Los Angeles.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm on the highways and I think I'm on the freeway in LA. I'm like, oh, my brain is playing tricks on me.
That's rad.
Oh, that's so special.
Thank
We're
you
going
very
to frame
much.
that.
Absolutely, we are. Thank you very
That's
much.
so cool.
That's a
Thank
very
you.
impressive bar trick. That's
Yeah.
That's
good.
That's really good.
I like that.
Do you remember what state you forgot? When you?
No, I didn't. Because I didn't. It was a napkin. It was like a bar napkin.
I got you.
And I just didn't keep it, which was stupid. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been to every state at this point.
You tour
like a maniac.
I know.
Well, I can ask you about that.
Yeah.
Okay, you have 2 kids. How old?
Yep.
6 and 4.
Okay, so this is like almost like abusive, right? How much he tours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And that's an issue. Is that an issue?
Yeah.
And what will you talk about it?
Oh, on air on this show, no, but in private, yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's terrible.
Why don't you talk about it on there? Okay, how old are the kids again?
4 and 6.
Oy.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 and 6.
You like your fucking life, Christina?
I know.
Yeah.
Are you married, Al?
I'm married 47 years.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
Just fear.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we have 4 grandchildren. So we have a 9, a 6, and a 6, and a 3. So
How many children do you
I have
guys-
2. Each has a boy and a girl.
Wow.
So
That's nice. I
Yeah.
can't wait to be a grandparent.
it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I
A lot
know.
easier.
How did you
so
and your wife
fun.
meet?
At a mixer in college.
Really?
Yeah.
You went to Harvard, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Smarty.
This
So
is
smart.
during a period when it was a lot easier for a white guy to get in Harvard. And that period was from the founding of the school in 1636 until last year.
Yeah. Shit, that means I could have gone to Harvard.
You could have gone to Harvard and you missed, but that's when affirmative action was in the 90s.
Oh,
we got
okay.
fucked. So, did you feel a pressure to be smarter at Harvard? I know there's a culture of like, was everybody super preppy and smart? You know what I mean? Like, did you feel the pressure to present as smarter than you were?
There's no better academic brand than when. Anyways,
As a brand, yeah.
The brand is
I would
fucking-
say. No.
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 Because when I studied 1 year abroad at Oxford and I felt so much pressure to be smarter than I was, you know, and I was like, oh, I gotta like show them. It didn't work.
They become your.
No one
everybody's
cares.
my friends are my friends.
Yeah.
My roommates are my roommates. And
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Is there a pressure when you get there to go like, oh my God, am I good enough to be here? Like at that school?
I didn't feel that way, and maybe it's because there are people there who are like legacies, or their parents gave a lot of money, or something like that.
So you know that person doesn't deserve to be here.
Like, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that I went to I went to a really good prep school, but I did terribly. And one of my
where was that? Where?
The prep school I went to was in Florida, but the college I got into was the only college that accepted me, which was Lenore Ryan in Hickory, North Carolina, because they were just like, well, I guess they were just like, do you need help? We'll take you or something. But one of my high school classmates who also performed pretty terrible, maybe not quite as terribly as I did, but pretty terribly.
Mm-hmm.
And like we both were always in these like math, like after schools. They're like, can you guys fucking not figure this out? Like you guys are dumb. And
well, math.
And he was right there with me. And I won't even say because everybody will think he ends up getting into a pretty prestigious school. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did you get in there? Dude, his family, he came from a very wealthy family, donated a crazy amount of money, like over $50 million.
Jesus, for that
And then he was
shit?
like, and I go, oh, like that's how you're going to this school. I couldn't believe it until I heard the story, and then I was like, okay.
Tell me later what school it was.
I will. I'll tell you right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's a good school. It's not like Ivy League, but it's a good school.
It's
Pretty impressive.
really
though.
worth 50 mil though.
Well, to them,
You got to give about
Jesus.
250 million to get in Harvard.
Oh my God, I bet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how Jared Kushner got in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how much?
I don't know how much he gave,
Oh.
but it was a.
I didn't know he went there.
Yeah.
He seems like a really likable guy. Like just on this, he's got a fun vibe. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
So wait, tell me about touring though. So you're on tour. You're not doing
Yes.
as many shows as I am because you enjoy your sanity and everything. But
Well, and I'm not getting that many bookings. But no, I've been. Let's see. I did Austin. I did
nice.
Austin here, and that was a while ago. I've done like about 30 some cities, and it's great. I love it. And I did the stand up I did was with Tom Davis, and that was a team, and that's so different than what you do and what I'm now doing. And I love stand-ups. I just love stand-up. I love you. There's a lot of great ones out there.
oh yeah.
No one does public policy though, I've noticed. But anyway, so I started after I left the Sun, started giving some speeches, and I realized these are fun. This is funny.
Yeah.
I might as well just get rid of the podium and just I'd go to the Cellar. I'd go to the Comedy Cellar in New York, and I'd just work out. And then I said, okay, let's do it. And I did it. And so I've been doing it. And it's great fun. And as you know, the more you do it, the better you get. Right?
Yeah, sure.
And so, but I love doing it. And
Would it be intimidating for you, like even though obviously you're like super accomplished, to go back to clubs like that, like after time away from them? Was that like
well, what was
pressure at all?
interesting is the first time I did the Cellar, I knew I had 30 minutes.
You knew it? Okay.
I knew it. Because I had been doing these speeches, and essentially I knew what that was. Now, the Cellar is a little, as an audience, a little different than maybe my core audience.
Sure.
So I felt confident.
You did. That's great. That's great. And then were the audiences pretty receptive to like the change of pace from somebody doing like, street, whatever, bar jokes?
Oh yeah, it was my opening line for about 2/3 of the comedians I follow is, well, Daryl did great, but of course he stole my act, and this is after someone is just unbelievably filthy.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a comedian there who she's black and she uses the N-word constantly. Yeah. And I go like, well, she did great, but no wonder. She stole my act. It was my idea to constantly use the N-word. And that's my opening laugh.
Yeah,
I mean, because I just, but
And then you got him. You got him after that.
Yeah, and it helps. I'm good.
Yeah, of course.
I'm good. There it is. There's that.
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Before you get, I like to show everybody at least a video. I wanted to show you this and just get your reaction to it. It'll be on this one here.
This one?
No, to your right. That right
one.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Here we go.
Oh, jeez.
You got to check on the car, though. This car is good. It's just, it's just a fun video. We try to show as many people as we can.
See, I'm horrified by it. But
really?
Yeah,
now, did someone punch him? Is that what's going on there?
No. Who, the first guy? The guy that got...
The guy gets hit, or the guy goes down, who's going,
Oh, he gets hit by the car.
By a car?
Yeah, that's a car going into a garage, and the car hits him against the wall, and it throws him. Yeah, it's a car, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what that was. I'm just going like, a guy came in and punched him.
Yeah. See, this
and
is
we're
the car.
laughing at it?
This is the car pulling in.
Let me see.
The car.
Oh, yeah. I see. Oh! Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Is he okay?
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's fine.
That's what I need to know.
Yeah, he's fine.
Before I laugh so hard.
Yeah. LOL.
Now the car hit that desk and
it hit him, and then he was leaning kind of against that dresser thing there. Yeah. And then he dropped his clipboard. But the best part, I like
the guy's coming to look at him.
The guy, this guy who just checks out his car. He's like, "Is the car good?"
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, look. He walks up to the back of the car. There's a guy suffering on the ground, and this guy's like, "Is the car good?"
Are you sure?
Yeah. This guy right here is checking on the car.
He's touching the front. Like, I hope this is not going to be
The other
too
guy
bad.
on the left is helping the guy that's on the ground, And like the guy that's on the ground, see, that guy got hit by a car.
There is the car there. It looks like there's a counter there. No.
That's the
what is that?
The hood of the car.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. So then somebody comes into frame. This guy is looking at his car. And then somebody else is helping the man, but this guy comes back and he's like, "Is my car good?" Like he's just like checking the.
It's funny how you have to explain everything to me.
No, it's just.
It's
I
went to Harvard,
Yes, you did.
But I have done a Harvard level thesis on this video. I mean, I've broken this video down.
It's not a
many
clear
times.
video, and we didn't mention there's a dash cam and all that.
Yeah,
it's a car. It's a garage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen this video about 6,000,
We made a lot of
7,000 times.
assumptions before we went in.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of Uma Thurman.
She's hot. She's got great tits too.
Yeah, she does. I saw her tits every day.
Oh, man. Doing
day.
that movie with her.
Daughter Maya Hawke's got great tits too.
Yeah. Well, dude, this was a real treat. Thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank you. It was fun.
We seriously, it's a blast to have you here. You can see it's currently on tour. Al Franken, the only former U.S. senator currently on tour.
That's right.
And people can get tickets at, is it alfranken.com?
That's right.
alfranken.com. You pick up the books that you've written, multiple books, and dude, again, a real treat. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so
here.
much.
All mine. Thank you.
And now we have this.
Yeah, this is getting framed.
Great to finally, to meet you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to meet you.
Yeah.
It is it always, I think, especially like I said, for the era that you grow up watching SNL, to think that you will meet those people and talk to them and do podcasts. Now it's you. I've done it with Nealon, Spade. That every time you're just like, I can't, because you go right back to being, for me, like a fifth grader and watching this show and just pissing and thinking like, there's just nothing bigger in your world, like SNL. And then you grow up and you actually meet the people. And talk
I guess
them.
people have their core period.
They absolutely
really,
do. Absolutely.
And, think about, the period where Hader and Armisen.
Yeah.
And
Farrell and
and Tina and
Yes.
Amy and
that's like an era I still appreciated,
Maya,
but I would see kind of peripherally. But you guys were like that was, you run there in the late 80s, early 90s. And that for me was that period, you and Nealon and Spade and Farley and Rock and all, like those guys that like helped form, our brains.
The show always does best when there's a balance between the writers and the performers.
Yeah.
And, when the writers are prevailing, you get a lot of interesting material. And when the performers are kind of leading the way, you get a lot of repetitive characters, and maybe too much. And so, I think the periods where it's been the best is where you obviously have these great people, but you also have a balance between the writing staff. And
that definitely occurred in that era.
Yeah. That we had.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. You're hilarious, and thank you very much.
Yes,
for coming in.
You're hilarious too.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're both hilarious.
Thank you.
Very very funny.
Seagal's the best. Bye, guys.
Seagal's the best.
Funny people.
Watch for wildest. They'll sting you, and then you look like me. Watch for wildest. Have a good one. Watch for wildest. They'll sting you, and then you look like me. Watch for wildest. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. Watch for wildest. They'll sting you, and then you look like me. Watch for wildest. Have a good one. Watch for wildest. They'll sting you, and then you look like me. Watch for wildest. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. Hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. Hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. Watch for wildest. They'll sting you, and then you look like me. Watch for wildest. Have a good one. Watch for wildest. They'll sting you, and then you look like me. Watch for wildest. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. Hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. Hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today. It's hot today, so make sure you drink water. It's hot today. It's hot today.
Did you like that full episode of Your Mom's House? Are your jeans as high and tight as they can be? I doubt it. Watch some more clips, dude. Look at that one. Watch that one right here. Or maybe here. Maybe here. Maybe you should subscribe. That way, every time a new video gets posted, you'll be notified. Stay in the know, jeans. Subscribe now.